Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. This video is going to be a very hopefully brief demo on retrieval augmented generation, or RAG as it is colloquially known as currently. This is something that I am absolutely not familiar with. I am more than happy to admit that. However, it is something that is becoming very, very popular and very commonly used in a number of applications. Think of things like chatbots, autocomplete, searches, that kind of thing. It's probably here to stay for a while, so at least being aware of it and understanding how to work with it is probably useful. It is not the end all be all, however, it is just another tool. For reference, this video is replacing a previous video that I used to do on quantum computing, which I honestly thought was going to be kind of the next big thing that Google delved into, and then without any fanfare, it just has been scrubbed from history for Google. None of the APIs, at least that I can find, exist anymore, and none of the tools are supported. So let's try something else that is new and see about RAG a little bit. So what you see here is just the quick start guide for it. Essentially, we're going to be chatting with it a little bit. Um, Essentially, we're going to prompt a pre-existing Google Cloud model to get a response. Now, for reference, I haven't done this lab yet. I kind of wanted to do it live to show you some of the issues that you might face. Could be painful to watch, I'm not sure, but I just wanted to try something new and see what we got. So essentially what this quick start guide is a bunch of Python code for setting up your model, basically getting logged in, or not logged in, but importing all the Vertex AI modules that we need and loading a pre-existing model from Google. Now, if you wanted to really delve deeply into this, you'd probably create your own model or pay for somebody else's model and get something a little bit more powerful. But really all we are doing is loading everything into memory and then talking to it. And if this works, I'm going to extend it a touch. So what I've got here on the left, my face is kind of blocking my project and everything, but that's not all that important here. I just have a sample project up and running. I've got my Cloud Shell all set up. I should already have Vertex AI enabled. So if you go through this quick start, it tells you what you need to do to set up. This guide is a little, um, it's basically intending to work with Cloud Shell or with a local development environment. So if you need to set up authentication, that's because they're thinking that you are on your own computer, not in the Cloud Shell. They actually tell you when you click through that if you are in the Cloud Shell, you don't need to do half of this stuff. But you do need the Vertex AI API enabled. So let's pop over to Vertex AI. Make my terminal a little smaller. And in here somewhere, you know what, I already clicked it, so I'm guessing it doesn't exist. Or, yeah, there is typically, okay, at least currently, I have to always say that. Usually there's like a button right in this area that says enable all APIs related to Vertex AI. I clicked that recently for this project, so everything should in theory be enabled already for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this a touch bigger. And I guess make that a little bit bigger. And then we're just going to essentially blind copy and paste some Vertex AI code. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm still going to refuse to use the Cloud Shell editor there. So let's say ragdemo.py. Drop all that in. Okay, so I need to set my project ID, a display name, and some of this fun stuff. So hopefully, let's see, pets, supports Google. Okay, so what is pets? Ooh, I don't have pets. Interesting. So I don't have a corpus. Okay, so just kind of dinking around here again. I'm doing this for the first time, like all of you will be as well. I commented out or I got rid of the Google Drive link because I don't want to have it uploading stuff into my personal Google Drive. But I set my project ID, I left the display name as test corpus, and now I'm going to go ahead and create a new storage bucket, which is why that I am re-enabling the video recording, because it's always good to see it happen multiple times. So let's see, I'm going to create a new bucket. So I'm going to call this Frederick's reg demo, continue. Let's see, it's a little bit bigger. Okay, so single region, because I want it to be as cheap as possible. Continue, storage class, default is fine. Access uniform is fine. And good enough. I want to not have the public be able to access this as well. So then let's see. So I've got this bucket. I'm not going to put a folder in there. I'm just gonna let it be the high level there. So I'm gonna copy the path to my bucket, and let's drop it in here. So get rid of this path. Should have left the GS in. God, thank you, Vim. GS, why am I don't know why I'm uncommenting this. Oh my God. All right, good enough. Should be accessible. For reference, if I wanted to copy a file, I could do gcloud storage cp. Got this authorize. Ooh, I'm in ephemeral mode. How'd that happen? Whoops. We'll leave it. Let's copy over this README. gcloud storage cp readme gs:// reg demo. Okay, so I copied it over. Refresh. There's my README. Neato. Okay, so that works. Good. Not sure why I forgot to turn off ephemeral mode, but that means that this file is not going to exist anymore after this video is done. Okay, so I'm going to leave everything else as default. And what I should see, I'm assuming this isn't going to work just because I've never run this before. I'm asking our reg model, what is reg and why is it helpful? And then we're going to print out the response from our model. Okay, I'm going to leave this open and I'm just going to run it. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping I don't need to put anything into my storage bucket, because otherwise this demo is going to be dead on arrival, because they don't give you a model in here to copy as far as I'm aware. And so that's taking its time. That's potentially helpful. Okay. Great. Is there anything happening up here? Nope, it's just taking its sweet time. I will be right back, and I will hopefully have an answer to this burning question of what is a reg and why is it helpful? Okay, that only took a handful of minutes, probably two-ish. And then we have our answer here. Reg stands for retrieval augmented generation, so on and so forth. So cool, it worked. Now, do I have anything up here? Nothing up here. I'm not sure why they wanted a path to my bucket, because I don't think, okay. Must just be looking for some other corpus, so I'm not sure why that's in there. Let's go ahead and extend this a bit though. For funsies, let's go ahead and make this queryable. Looking for the wrong file there. All right, so I've got this in Python. Let's go ahead and make it something we can do from the terminal. So import argparse. Okay, and trying to remember the syntax here. I've got the Python guide open here for, not the guide, but the documentation. So I can never remember how to do this manually. So parser equals argparse dot argument parser. I know I could just use std out and all that fun stuff, but yeah. Parser dot add argument. Let's call this Q for query. Yeah, good enough. And then args equals parser.parse args. All right, so what I'm trying to do here, just for funsies, is to add a queryable, I'll basically let the user talk to the Python script. All right, and then I'm going to say this is args.q, right? So I'm going to go ahead and comment this out here. Oops, I hit caps lock, dang it. Yay, Vim. Comment you out. Okay, args.q. All right, so what should happen is that I commented out this string, and I'm just replacing it with the Q attribute of my argument parser, which I just called Q. I could call that whatever I want. All right, so now I'm going to run the same thing, except I'm going to pass in dash Q. Let's do a string, and what do we want to search for? Why has generative AI become so popular so quickly, even though it is shown to significantly hallucinate when it doesn't know what it is talking about? Not adding my own preconceived notions in there or anything. All right, so this is going to take a few minutes. I'm going to pause and I will be right back. And I will see you all once this query spits out. I don't know if it was something having to be loaded into memory or not, but that honestly took less than a minute to run, so not too bad. Okay, so my very elderly person, angry, shaking at clouds question. Popularity stems from its ability to create realistic and engaging content. Sorry, I commented out a curse word there because I've seen how people use this without checking what it actually does. Okay, so let's add another question. All right, cancel that because that's going to take forever to clear. Clear Python 3 rag demo dash dash q. What do the Detroit Red Wings need to do to stop losing so much? We are starting to enter the Dead Wings era. Apologies. All right, be right back. All right, so this is interesting. I need the search results to answer your question. Please provide them. I think what is happening is that the corpus that the rag is using to generate its answers has no record of the Detroit Red Wings, or hockey for that matter, or how to fix a team that should be good but are having issues. They're still fun to watch, which is fine. Okay, let's try one more just for funsies. So Python rag demo dash dash q. Why is it winter and yet it isn't snowing outside? Moreover, why is it 50 plus degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of winter? BRB. All right, so we've hit the limits of what this model can actually do. This is something that is actually pretty common with any machine learning application. If it doesn't have any training data that resembles the question you were giving it, it's either going to, the initial question I asked, hallucinate and just spit out something wrong or made up, or it's going to ideally tell you it doesn't know. Please give me more information, which is fine. I'm not trying to like bag on generative AI or machine learning or anything like that too much. It's more when they hallucinate and give you wrong information. I'd much rather this where the answer is, I don't know. Please help me out with that. Cool. But if you had a more powerful corpus for your model to learn from, then you could have a really interesting chatbot here. Again, autocomplete, search results, documentation lookup, any of these things are ideal use cases for a RAG. But other than that, fun little video. Hopefully it's a starting point if you want to play in this space. And I'm sure there are other models that are available out there that are a little bit bigger and more comprehensive in terms of what it can understand and talk through. So take this as a starting point, not as the ending point, and hope you all have a nice day. Everybody.